Remember when this used to be an elite steel coaster? Until Six Flags ruined it? Yeah, me too. Let's compare the two. What's up guys, Dr. Coaster here, and welcome to my first ever coaster review on the channel. Today we'll be reviewing Mindbender at Six Flags Over Georgia, my first ever inverting coaster, as well as its most recent form, the Riddler Mindbender. This review won't follow a super strict format, but I'll take into account all aspects of the ride, from overall ride experience down to theming, and I'll be rating them out of 10. Before we rate the rides, if you're new to the channel, or you've been enjoying my content, go ahead and drop the video a like as it helps me fight the YouTube algorithm. While you're at it, subscribe to my channel as well, so you don't miss out on future videos, just like this one. Now let's get on to the review. Opening in 1978, Mindbender was heralded as the world's first triple looping coaster. And yes, this coaster does in fact have only 2 vertical loops. But it does feature a dive loop, and that was enough for Six Flags to market it as such. Unlike almost all other Schwarzkopf coasters, Mindbender is a terrain coaster, and it does its job quite well. Or did, but we'll get into that part later. Mindbender has over 3,200 feet of track and stands at a height of 80 feet. The coaster reaches the top speed of 50 miles per hour, which I believe occurs at the bottom of the first drop, before pulling up into the first 56-foot vertical loop. Most modern roller coasters feature vertical loops with more of a teardrop shape, or at least a larger diameter, in order to reduce strong positive forces placed on the riders. Schwarzkopf coasters say the heck with this, and it's unfortunate the manufacturer is now defunct. As you can imagine, the first loop pulls some strong positive G's. I can't find the info online, but it's likely in the 4 to 5 range. Mindbender then pulls up in a quick trim turnaround before sending riders down into a ravine and past a waterfall. It's here where you experience the most intense yet beautiful moment on the entire ride as you haul through the dive loop and past the waterfall. You'll then be sent down a fun little drop where you might even catch a pop of airtime before you roll through the last trim turnaround on the ride. Now it's time for the final inversion of the ride. Yep, you know the drill by now. Another 56-foot vertical loop before pulling through a tunnel and into the final brakes. Mindbender has a pretty simple layout, but it's hard to top its charm and execution. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the Riddler. The original Mindbender unfortunately parted from this world at the end of the 2019 season. We all know 2020 sucked, but this just made it worse for us coaster enthusiasts. A completely unnecessary low blow. Six Flags left a sour taste in many visitors' mouths when they unveiled the Riddler Mindbender. Don't get me wrong, I understand the name change and refurbishment to fit the new and improved Gotham City section of the park, but they missed the mark by removing the old trains. Changing them from a 7-car train with 2 rows apiece to only 5 cars with 2 rows apiece, significantly decreasing the weight of the trains and the riders that it carried. Not only that, but the new modern trains aren't nearly as comfortable. They also don't ride nearly as smooth in my opinion. It just doesn't feel like they're made to fit this track. I rode this with a friend on my last visit to the park, and they hadn't ridden it since the Mindbender of old. From the brake run, they told me that it just wasn't the same. And this confirmed to me that it wasn't just my abrasiveness to change that spurned my feelings on this new ride. That ride was a lot better than my first that I got on the Riddler Mindbender. There were actually some decent forces to the loops, but the ride is just too janky compared to the previous ride experience that I got on the old Mindbender. Regardless of all the hate I just gave the Riddler Mindbender, this is still a fairly fun ride, and against the urges of my greedy credit-seeking mind, I still count these coasters as 1 credit. But I do rank these rides as Mindbender A and Mindbender B in my overall rankings. Overall, I'm giving the original Mindbender a 9 out of 10, and the Riddler Mindbender a 7 out of 10. While I don't enjoy the ride as much as I used to, I still highly recommend riding this now altered classic coaster if you're ever visiting Six Flags Over Georgia. After riding this coaster on my last few visits to the park, as well as Scorpion this past summer, I am super excited to experience other Schwarzkopf classics like Shockwave at Six Flags Over Texas and American Dryer Looping at Indiana Beach. Thank you so much for watching. That was my review of Mindbender and the Riddler Mindbender at Six Flags Over Georgia. Have you ridden this coaster before, or coasters? Let me know in the comments below. as well as what you thought of it. If you enjoyed the video, then go ahead and give it a like, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm currently working on a lot of new content that I'm excited to share with you in the future, both here on YouTube, as well as over on Instagram, where you can follow me at Dr_Coaster. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.